Welcome back to Pump with Purpose. This is Dr. Diana here, and I'm here to talk about the next podcast episode. This is the CEO and founder of Pump with Purpose. We are a global lactation and postpartum private practice, teaching women all across the world to breast pump through personalized care to increase your milk supply with the right pump, flange, products, and schedule, and to change the world one pumping family at a time. So I'm here to talk to you about one of my favorite topics. I want to tell you it is one of my favorite topics because it helps to make your life easier when pumping. I call it Pumping and Feeding Life Hacks. This is an episode you don't want to miss. So we offer premier pumping consults where we can help you to increase your milk supply with the right pump, flange, products, and schedule. Check us out to learn more, www.pumpwithpurpose.com. So I'm here to just jump right in because this is the episode that I really want you to understand how I made my life easier. I coined it. No, I don't have any I'm sure people probably do this in different ways and all of that, but it is just so important for me to let you know. I call it the Pumping and Feeding Life Hacks. What is it, you may ask? It is pumping and feeding at the same time, pumping and feeding from the same bottle if possible, and pumping and feeding one bottle ahead. This was how I lived. I lived life when I was out on maternity leave. And then after I went back to work, of course, when I was in corporate, it was just a different structure. But when you're home on maternity leave or when I was home on the weekends, this is what I did. I did this in some way. Pumping and feeding, could not happen, of course, when I'm away. But when I was with baby, this is what I did. So listen, you need to make sure your parts are assembled, especially when you're going into the night pumping. So everything is already ready, having extra parts as needed to cut down on having to clean so much. Pumping as much as you can into a direct collecting system, which means I really wanted to use the bottles that my baby, which is a part of it, was feeding from. So that's a part of it. So let's go and jump right in. So pumping and feeding at the same time. So what that looks like is when you are pumping, you are feeding your baby breast milk. So it gets everything done within that 30-minute time frame, pace bottle feeding, and then be able to burp baby and then be all done. So that's the biggest thing. It's so helpful when you're super busy, making sure that you can do everything at one time and then enjoy that next 2.5 hour stretch. After you finish before you start again at the 3-hour mark. It doesn't mean that, you have to do every 3 hours. It's just what we recommend, every 3 hours for 30 minutes for the first 12 weeks with the right pump, flange, products, and schedule. So also pumping and feeding from the same bottle. Both of my children took Medela bottles. So back then, I'm able to pump and feed into those bottles to get everything done at one time. If you don't know, visit my Amazon Live. I've done a pumping product hack, Amazon Live. It talks about all the ways that you can hack pumps and bottles. So check that out. I'll make sure my Amazon Live is linked in the actual show notes. And then pumping and feeding one bottle ahead. So some can also pull the milk, but I like to do and be able to feed one bottle ahead. So when pumping one bottle ahead, it means that you have the next bottle, you pump, and then the bottle, I do it in my example on my life. So I pumped at the 4, 7, 10, 1 schedule and went around the clock every 3 hours. So at 4 o'clock, that was my bottle for 7. When I pumped at 7, I fed the 4 o'clock bottle, and the 7 o'clock bottle was for 10 o'clock. When I pumped at 10 o'clock, I used the bottle from the 7 o'clock pump, and then my 10 o'clock bottle will go to 1. So I literally went around the clock one bottle ahead. I knew exactly what I needed for the next bottle. If I had something overage, I would either realize this is enough to save in my baby's feeding increments, because that's what I like to save my milk in. My children took 5-ounce bottles, so I was saving 5 ounces. So if I had that in a feed extra, then I would immediately freeze it. Sometimes it would take me up to 2 feeds to have the extra 5 ounces. So I would then be able to freeze it within 2 feeds. If it's longer than just, that 3-hour stretch that you're waiting, put it in the fridge. Just wait until you've collected it. You can pull it. You can leave the individual bottles in there and collect it and pull it at the end of the day. Some people have the dummy bottle in the fridge, and then they will go from the fridge and leave the dummy bottle. I call it a dummy bottle. It's just the bottle that holds the milk to collect till it gets cool to combine it with the pitcher. And they do the pitcher method and then, freeze whatever they need at the end of the day. So it's up to you how pumping and feeding works best for you. But we really liked that plan when we were home to just pump and feed 1 bottle ahead. It just really helped me to make sure I could stay ahead and, not have to. I remember my first son, I did not do that. I did not do the pumping and feeding life hacks then. And literally I was like letting baby control like every single thing. And I was just lost in the sauce. I'm not even going to tell you any tales. It's the beautiful thing about pumping. We can actually have schedules. We can actually plan our lives. So he would lead everything. And then I remember so many times I would because, I didn't have a natural oversupply. So it took me 6 weeks to build. I was out for 4 months on both journeys, but it took me 6 weeks to get in front of him. But when I did, I just, sometimes when I wasn't all the way in front or I was still trying to catch up, I'm literally pumping milk that I need to rush to feed baby. So I'm literally in the middle of pumping, screwing off milk out of the, off of the pump to pour so he can have a bottle or to put it, to use that bottle and put another one on. Just to feed him, just to collect 2 or 3 ounces just to satisfy. I don't like that. I don't recommend anyone doing that. I remember those feelings. I remember those emotions. You could probably tell in my voice. I don't want you to make some of the same mistakes that I did. Please, please, please just prepare 1 bottle ahead. Let it sit until you're ready to use it. Most babies are going to eat before 3 hours per CDC now. It states 4 hours at room temperature. Back then, the rules were much longer. So even at 4 hours, most babies are going to eat by then unless it's overnight or something. So try to pump and feed with the pumping and feeding life hacks. If you're new to it, try it out. Pumping and feeding at the same time, pumping and feeding from the same bottle, pumping and feeding 1 bottle ahead. It can really come in handy, can really help you. We're happy to put together a personalized plan for you. Help you to do so based on your goals, preferences, and lifestyle, and really find how to do this and managing your pumping routine in a way that works best for you, not just what works best for me, but I like to hear what the concerns are and then put together a plan. So if you want to talk with us, want to work with us, we tell you all the time. Our DMs are always open. Instagram is our largest platform. Send us a DM. If you are on my website, pumpwithpurpose.com, on the fence, send us a contact form to send us, what's going on, making sure that we are aligned to help you, to assist you. And if you're ready to change and transform your journey to, try to come up with a plan, get a personalized plan that's based on you. We are here. We want to help you. We do not want you trying to suffer in silence and figure this out alone. We want it to end today. So if you're listening to this message and it's anything I've said resonated with you on trying to come up with a way to make your pumping journey easier, we are here to help you. So I want to just pop in, let you know, this is a quick episode. I remember I was watching or was with a client and they were like, I made the mistake of listening to your podcast on 1.5 times too fast. I already talk fast. I'm working on trying to slow things down a little bit. So don't listen to my podcast on 2 times the speed or anything like that. You can listen to it on 1 time. You can still get done quickly. So this is Dr. Diana here. We are here to help you, to assist you. Download our free pumping survival guide that's on our website, pumpwithpurpose.com. You can subscribe at the bottom just to get a bunch of pumping resources. This is one of them as well. So definitely you want to check that out. And if you ever are on the fence about working with us, send us a DM when you are ready. We are happy to work with you, happy to make sure that we can assist in a way that works best for you. So this is Dr. Diana here. Until next time with Pump with Purpose.